Good evening all and welcome in. It's Sunday evening here on the Pegasus Show. I'm Admiral Pegasus and tonight's show we're going to be covering a lot of different things and hopefully discussing a lot of different things as well in regards to the events and all some of the new events that's going on right now around us, and also is this new 12 and 24 hour rotation of events any good? Are these events good? I mean, personally, I think they are. We're also going to be looking at some of the officers that's been released lately, the PvP officers, and how are they really that niche, or do they have some use? So, I mean, obviously drop it into chat and let me know where you're hailing in from. But other than that, we're going to be doing a lot of gameplay as well. So, yeah, welcome in. And let's get going. So, obviously at the minute I'm just doing my dailies because I tend to leave them now more to the evening here in the UK. Now, hopefully the stream's going to hold. The UK is currently suffering a bit of a battering from a storm, but we seem, well, most of the country seems to be weathering it alright. Sadly, 2 people have lost their lives in it so far. One of them whose van was in his van and the van got crushed by a falling tree, which is really sad. And I don't think he was much older than me because it said he was in his 40s. So that's really harsh of life, but this is what happens with storms. So yeah. Sorry about that, just had a sneeze. So as you can see at the minute I'm just doing freebooters. I've got a lot of other dailies to get done yet. And I'm even going to throw some missions in tonight as well. I haven't even started doing them yet, but it's only the second week, so oh, excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that. So let's get that back on. Let me see if I could just put some different music on in the background. Question is, what screen is this going to appear on? Come on. Oh. Oh my lord. Hey, finally, we speeded up a bit. So just wait to see if more people come in. Right. Okay, that's too loud. Still too loud. Hey T, welcome in, buddy. Yeah, forget that audio. Hey T, welcome in, buddy. Well, I'll just have to stick to the game music because I don't. That was too loud and it was causing some feedback. Yeah, forget that audio. Hey T, welcome in, buddy. A bit of an echo there. That's just using my mobile just to check the volume. Well, I'll just have to stick to the game music. Right, so I do apologise. That will disappear shortly. Yeah, quite a bit of an echo. So hopefully that'll disappear soon. How's the G Life treating me? Not too bad. Slowly, my Vulture's now tier 5. I've only just done that just before coming on stream. But yeah, slow, painful, expensive, but getting there slowly. Especially with the amount of research that I've been doing lately. Now, I've got a funny feeling that the audio input as well is way too loud. Maybe that's a bit better. Oh, got a spatial rift opened. Where's that going to be at? Ah, right, that's for the Marder then. So, how are you finding the new content? Unfortunately, the wrecked the mini daily events would. You want about like the 6-hour ones? I mean, I don't mind the new weekly, the new daily events. They're destroying a good thing. So you're on about these now, aren't you? How these have all changed to like 12 hours and 24 hours. I mean, I don't think these are particularly too bad. I'm not bothered too much about the SLBs. But I don't mind these ones every now and again. I mean, this one's obviously paying out faction credits, which is, it's alright, I suppose. Gives you a nice steady income of faction credits. If you can actually complete them, because some of them I've looked at, it's like, I'm never going to be able to complete that. I can't remember which ones it was. It's some that we've had this week already. But yeah, so let's go into these dailies then. I haven't got the... Let me have a look, see if I can find the list. Where's me? There it is. Because what I'm going to do is going to look for the list. Yeah, some of them do look like the cost an arm and a leg to actually do now. But which one was it? It was the parts one today that we had during the day. If we just go back into it. And freaking rolling thing. So it's like this one. To do the parts, I wasn't 100% sure I'd actually be able to do this one. But yeah, all I had to do was 4 parts on my pylon. That was it. So I had 1 part to do which took it up to tier 8, I think it was. And then I did 3 parts on for tier 9. And then I've completed this event without a problem. So it shocked me how some of them appears to be a lot easier to do than I thought. But it's like, well, I'm going to see what it's going to take to actually do this one. So it's like I need 28,000 points. I can't upgrade any fleet commanders because I've got no fleet commanders to actually upgrade. But if I'm right, I've still got some skill points to actually... But it's like spending rare skill points, so I don't think I've actually got any of them. Yeah, okay. So this one could be a little bit of a problem. Uncommon skill points in the refinery. Okay. So let's go have a look at that. So command center. So uncommon skill points. So next officer I need to build up for is 7 of 9. Got 1,000. So let's go for that one then. Give yourself 1,000 of them. And that looks to have completed the entire SMS. Oh, for God's sake, why does it keep bloody skipping back? Yeah, the rewards are very nice. Hey, Joseph, welcome in. So, yeah, so literally just doing those that 100 chests in the refinery, I've been able to actually complete this quite easily. So, that's not too bad. You used to get mats and resources. Hang on, let me call up the other chat so I can actually read that. Plus a very important amount of latinum in the old minis. That as a G6 player is very important. Used to get 12 million a month. Oh, bloody hell. Yeah, I have noticed that they've taken the latinum out of them. Which is, yeah. I've not actually given any consideration about the latinum, to be honest. Now you've mentioned it, it's just like, yeah, you used to get your fair share of latinum out of it. So, but I mean, I suppose on the other hand, it's nice the fact that they do give you different things. Like this SMS is giving you some chaos tech, upgrading stuff. So that's not too bad. But it's like for this bit, which I'll go into the meta in a moment, ranking 1 and 2 to score it. So it's like, is there any point me actually partaking in this particular thing when top points is 27,000? I've got no hope of achieving that, and there's still 19 hours left on this. So, oh, it looks like we're going to enter a buffering phase again. Just like this game, my system loves to do, and I've just updated it as well. Bloody thing. The feature gives far more latinum than... You get 49k each day. Joseph, how do you get 49k a day? Because my features max is tier 12 and I only get 30k a day. Oh, here we go, better connection now, so it's redone. Hey Nuts, welcome in, thank you very much, mate. So, right, get rid of that because I've got it up on the screen now. Everything. So, right, so I need to go into here. That one. I'm just going to call up, get the list of events that we have. I'm going to call up that particular set of patch notes. That's the word I'm looking for. Oh, for crying out loud. No, just go away, go away. Go away. Don't need to sign in for this. Uh, 40,000 with max pull using... Ah, right. So you're using the skin. Which is obviously giving you an extra 10,000. Right, go away, you. Right, let's try this dance again. Right, patch notes. Quality of life improvements. Here we go. So bring that there. So bring. Oh, okay. That didn't work as planned. Oh, right. Oh, whoa. Didn't want that. It was this one I wanted. That's the one. So, right. So we've got the Fleet Commander upgrade. And let's get that back up here. So, what's it? A 12-hour one, this one. So, okay. So we've just had that one. I have seen that one, and okay, I'm sure they. Ah, here it is. This one right here. So this is day one in the rotation then. You might not be in G6 now, but you lose them in events. So it's massive. Is massive to myself anyway. Used to getting 22.5 thousand in one 12-hour mini. Yeah, so we've got this one, and then obviously next up is going to be this one, spending materials. Oh, right, yeah, so they're ops 5 to 19. So if you are below ops 20, please let me know, so we can go over this. So basically then, obviously, what they've done is give us these 4 events, and I do see what you're saying to you about the fact that they've taken the Latinum out, so literally they're not actually worth it. But I do think replacing them with the rewards that they have, I mean, this one is faction credits. You saw what I just got just for complete this of around 1,200 faction credits across the board here. So with the exception of independent credits, because that's less, but having these extra credits is nice because that's going to work towards helping you upgrade your officers should you wish. If we look at this research SLB, obviously this one's giving you forbidden technology, so that's not particularly too bad as well to work on that one. But it is an SLB, and I've noticed that the SLBs now as well do go up to rank 50. So yeah, instead of having to do it within 10, that's actually good. We've got this one as well, spending the artifact tokens. To be honest, that I literally went and blow 50. Turns out I didn't actually need to blow 50, not 50 disruptors. Get 50 temple shards. I didn't need to do that. Is it 10,000 disruptors? 10,000 temple disruptors. I did not need to do that. I think 2,000 was the most I needed to do to actually complete this SMS. And then I would have got all this dilithium, all these materials. I mean, getting this 1,000 uncommon per event. So if you do these every 12 hours, that's like 2,000 a day you're actually getting out there. So it's not particularly too bad. Yeah, I totally understand what you mean there, T. I mean, 1,000, 1,200 faction credits. I mean, in honesty, for what you need it for the ships, yeah, absolutely. That's just like it's not even a drop in the ocean, to be honest. But the resources used to be better in the old ones. But if you all don't see it, I guess it's better if you all. For me, when it comes to those resource ones, when it gave you out resources and materials, the amount I had to pay in to get some back, it wasn't worth the effort for me to actually do. But I did notice when I went into when I went to 53, that some of the events were actually paying out a lot better in the terms of rewards. You're missing the recruiter ones, so let's have a look, see when that's actually. Here we go. Building officer. Oh yeah, because they don't do the recruitment ones anymore. Yeah, which is, I actually enjoyed those recruitment ones, especially the epic one, also the heroic one, because that one I really did enjoy doing. With the amount of titanium it paid out, I get an average of about 15,000 credits for each faction day, and that's on the low end. Wow, that's a lot. That is a lot. So let's have a look. So 24-hour ones, we've got artifact, fleet commander, ship upgrade. Yeah, literally they've got rid of building power up. Recruiting officers. Yeah. So, I'm also going to look at Cosmic Cleanup and the new version of Swarm Sunday as well today, because obviously we've got them on screen, them in the board. But yeah, I mean, I see where you're coming from with the new events. Maybe that's something that can be thrown at Scopely and just told them, look, right, the G6 ones are not worth it. Or how about you put me Latinum back in? But I suppose that one you're going to have to throw Rev Juice and DJ for. Or Lube, because they obviously know they've got the contacts within Scopely. So, hey Matt, welcome in. Thanks very much, buddy. So, Cosmic Cleanup. Now, not much has changed really in the form of what you do on this one, because obviously you still got to destroy hostiles. So it's like I would be punching some of these 56 to 60 ones without a problem, so I can complete this event no problem. Tearing up ships as well, no different. But then again, 30,000 points for oh yeah, fill up to the G4 rare. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that. So, what the hell? Okay. That's one of my kids' toys. We'll do what was under my foot then. So yeah, so I don't know if I need to be higher tiered to actually see more points. I'm gonna guess so. So because it says number one tiered ships number one, so I'm guessing number two would be for the G5 epics and higher. And then obviously spending some materials on your ships. So if you get the SMS where you've got to upgrade your parts. So if you get this one, upgrading your parts, you can tie that with your spending materials to actually partake in it, if you'd like. But then that's only going to happen like once every 2 weeks or something like that. But what I do find for the cosmic cleanup that I do actually like now is the fact they've put the meridian in. So now technically I can go working towards getting a couple more meridians. So, and that's what I'm going to do. So I can literally put like, my aim is to get another 3 meridians. So I've got 6. So which means I can literally just bang them out there and actually, yeah. What's this information here? Creators adopted live automated mid-roll saw an average and uplift of over 20% in-stream ad revenue per hour. Why would I want to monetize it? Why would I want ads interrupting my show? Why? I don't want ads interrupting my show, which is part of the reason why I won't do Twitch. But I'm not going to get on a rant on that one. So, but anyway, so yeah, adding the Meridian and the Defiant in here is nice. So that gives you an extra bit of sourcing towards getting the Defiant for lower level players. Obviously, mine's tier 11, so I don't need another Defiant. And as well, they changed this so it's actually brings you to a nice round 10 weeks to actually get enough blueprints for the sarcophagus. Should you the sarcophagus ship, do you want it? Well, that's entirely your discretion. Then obviously you got tactical supplies where there's been absolutely zero change in this one, and this when the last did the cosmic cleaner update, this is what was added to give you these away team speed ups and Tetrions, direct ears, axionic chips. Have they updated this? No, they haven't. So, I mean, yes, fine. I still need to go do it for the away team speed ups, but you don't get much per week. It's crap, really. But they actually did some work on this one, upgrading it with Defiant parts and G4 ship parts. That's really not going to be worth anything to me. I mean, even this for the Charged Nanopros, 170. Yeah, I'm not running the Vidar anymore. My Talios sits in dock doing nothing. So, realistically, it's like for me, for the cosmic cleanup, the only thing I've got of value at the minute is this until I've got 3. Once I've got 3, that's it. But at the minute as well is I can actually go get some meridians. That's the wrong box. Ship parts, no ship blueprints. I can just go in here to get the meridian. Now, where are you? I think it's down at the end. Yeah. So I go in. I can go in here and actually just spend in here to get the meridian blueprints. So, but see what loot I get, because to be honest, I am bored of these event stores at the minute this year. I don't see any value in them anymore this year. I really don't. Like the officers for me, all the PvP ones. Yeah, I could go for him, and realistically, I probably should for his below deck ability against hostiles, increasing loot So that would be a nice increase to go with the Doctor below deck. Or when I'm running the Doctor is an officer slot, having him below deck as well. But Starfleet queue, Marshall queue and the Spanish queue, yeah, okay. These to me are very niche officers. So this one is obviously starting morale and going up against interceptors. Okay, yeah, fine. But we'll talk about the officers a little bit later on in the show. I don't want to go on a bit of a high horse at the minute with them. So, but yeah, so the Cosmic Cleanup was nice to have a few little updates put in here. Value to the G5 player, really? Like I say, unless you want more Meridians, not really. You've got Doc Brown. Yeah, as I said, I think a lot of people have gone for Doc Brown. So he's the only officer I could potentially see me just at least unlocking at least. But yeah. But it does for me come down to the nice improvements are actually the daily events where the resource payout is a hell of a lot better. But I do take on board what you say to the fact that you've lost all your Latinum. And it's no longer of use to you, but for God's sake. So I do see what you mean. So, is that coming back up? No. Here we go. So, as well, losing the officer recruitment one as well. Yeah, I do see that's a bit of a pain in the ass as well. I'm not happy with that one because I did like to do that one. Like I said, the heroic version seems a bit low on it. Well, I've only got 30,000 at current. I've got it. How much have I got? Yeah, so I've only got 30,000 of it, but there's events I've not done, like if we hello, go here, jump into here, like this one. Yes, it says heroic, so there's a chance I should not be able to complete this, and they have give us gifts to give us the directives, and it's a good job about spending it. In fact, it's 10,000 points for just starting these armadas. Because otherwise you don't stand a cat and mouse chance on this one. Because unless you've got the Reverend itself, you cannot complete this SMS. So again, you would need that just to actually complete it. Because I did it last time that event came round. I spent the directives and that cutting beam got me on the second shot every single time. My Vorch had just got absolutely blown out the water. So for me, it wasn't really worth it. It really wasn't. So I just put them to one side. These hunts have not been particularly too bad, so I've been able to do these. The first round, in the first on day launch, giving me a target where I had to kill 144 of these assimilated Alorian ships. 144. That's like nearly an hour's grinding, depending on how fast you actually did it. So for this one, it was down to about 58 I had to kill. So that wasn't particularly too bad. Right, let's get rid of that because I was doing my nutting. I can't do this one. No directives. Well, the one thing you should be able to at least do the directive side, because they are giving you another gift of directives to actually do it with. So another 2 runs. Me, I'm just going to save them. I don't see the point. I'm just going to save them. So now obviously we've got this one as well for the new Swarm Sunday thing. So, okay, so 2 runs into the mirror universe to actually do it. Okay, fair dues. And then this one, on the threat officer's gift. And I just got a load of transport patterns. Hey, nice. All I can say on that one is boring. That was boring. So, but right, let's... Oh crap, I've already got... Shoot. Wasn't meant to do that many. Oopsie. So, but anyway, so let's have a look at the new Swarm event. If we can actually get it to actually go up there. Oh yeah, we didn't cover this as part of the daily events as well. Use killing the Alliance for 5 hours for the first time. Stop counting at 120. Well, that's going to give you plenty of... Well, actually, what level hostiles was you doing those? Because, obviously, depending on what level would depend on how much loot you walked away with. So, obviously, all these SMSs and everything, including these new ones here, are going to pay in towards this ahead of the curve SMS meta, which lasts all month. Now, I do think this is a nice little thing. I mean, it's giving you these Admiral event tickets, which you can go spend in the recruitment section. But obviously, it's like just basically completing the events. I mean, I'm at 2200 already, with still just under 22 days to go. So, effectively, yes, I'm going to be able to complete this one. You're killing the 44s. So, yeah, so you've got, what do you say, 5 hours of them? 5 hours. So, I'd probably say you killed around about 500 then, possibly. So, that was a lot of killing. But, yeah, so scoring at the dailies and weekly events. Yeah, alright then. Now, these ones obviously places first and second in the SLBs. It's like, yeah, okay, you've really got to actually push on them ones to actually get anywhere. So, I don't really think that these are a big concern for players. As long as you do the SMSs, you should be fine and you'll be able to score all the points. So it's like the weekly one that I'm going to be doing today, which is obviously the Mirror Universe one. I'll get 300 points for that. So I got two. Is this one going to be part of it? No, it's not. So for doing the... Come on, thank you. For doing this one, yeah, obviously I got my 200 points for that one. I'm not going to score in the top 2 for that one, so I'm not even going to try for it. But it's like, even this one now, your Pinnacle of Power, your location doesn't work. Okay, that's interesting. Not quite sure what you mean by that one, Nuts. But it's nice to see that Pinnacle Power now pays out towards the meta as well. But I do like the way they have actually changed this as well for both mining and hostile killing. The fact that now you're actually going to get all this, which cosmic particles, great help for G5, G6 players when you're doing that research. The rhodidium for helping with your galaxy research, and the assembly medals for your starbase research if you're still lucky enough to be doing that. But the fact that they've added raw intelligence, not the raw intelligence, they've actually added the faction intelligence into this as well. Oh right, okay. Faction board, the location board. Are you trying to find out where you are, Nuts? I'm gonna say somewhere in California. I'm gonna say somewhere in California. I could be wrong. I don't know. But yeah, so faction intelligence for this. The raw intelligence has dropped. I will say that it has dropped. Because if I've worked it out, if I've looked at it right, it's about 5,300 I'm actually getting now. Whereas before the changes, I was getting just over 7,000. So I'm a little bit gutted the fact that this has dropped. But they've made up for it by actually giving me 500 of this. And as you can see, well, 500 here. The cosmic particles and the other two as well. So for me, Pinnacle Power has now got more importance. I think I've only missed about, since I've gone into G5, I've only missed 5 runs of Pinnacle Power, whether it's mining or hostile hunting. I've actually missed it, only just 5. But other than that, I've done it for every other day. So that was really nice of Scopely to actually do. But head of the curve, obviously, yeah. Now, the other meta that they've got for the month as well is going to be the March of Progress, which is gaining power. And it's going to be paying out for me, obviously, G5 parts in both uncommon and rares. It would have been nice as well to see some of the uncommons in here, considering that uncommons are actually the barrier in which a lot of players are struggling with. And which is why, as T said about the fact he's lost all his Latinum, that's pretty much what you're spending your Latinum on for the most part in G5, G6, is the common parts. So, it would have been nice for them to stick that in there, but then again, so what is it, 900, 1350, yeah. This is a nice amount. So, it looks around about 1,800 as a guess. To actually for all of it, if you actually complete it all. However, for me, I can't say that I'm confident that I will get this top milestone. I don't think I'd be able to achieve it, because the only way I can achieve it is some if we actually go into my research, come on, catch up. Are we going to do it? Are we going to crash? Don't crash on me. Nope. But it's like I've got no fresh buildings to actually do. So I'd definitely have to go through research. But I'd be looking at research that I haven't even made a start on yet. And the only place I've actually got research where I haven't started is actually these two trees here, the combat and the station research tree. But I'd have to scroll right across. As you see, I'm still working on my G4. I've been really heavily working on it as best I can. Working towards getting my super highways, but I've also now been slowly doing one piece of research, and the amount that the amount of power I'm going to get for these is like, okay, that's not an awful lot, but yet with this one, no, okay, that's, go away. Must be the station tree. Hey, Eggdog, welcome in. Strange that my reward for that event are G6 parts, yet I'm still a G5 player, op 60, so literally knows. Well, save them up, Mark. Save them up. So I've still got a couple of bits here to do for G4. So this is where I finished with the G4 stuff. So as you can see, I still got a lot of G4 to do there. But if I work into here, why is he not? But here, right, R&D 54. So 325,000 would be the kind of power level I'd be looking at to actually try and do anything. But by the looks of it, yep, R&D 54. Yeah, R&D 54. So literally, I'm already at the maximum point in the station tree of where I'm not going to be doing more. But even like the starting power here was 285,000. They would do that particular meta of gaining power through the month. This would actually be brilliant for it. But now they're not really paying out such high levels, especially for the number of days that it takes to do. Hey, what's this one? This one, yeah, again, this one's only 5,000. So, but even looking through the G4 stuff, 9,000 increase there for 150 days. So, I really can't see me getting very far with it. Have I still got to complete this one? Oh yeah, I've got one more to actually unlock. But even that's still not giving me a particularly high level of power. So, yeah. Starship tree. Yeah, 57 again, still not exactly high numbers. So, sadly, that match to power SMS, I ain't gonna complete it. There's no, I can't see me finding any way of being able to achieve that top milestone in less than 22 days. Could I get the first milestone? Well, it's been a couple of days. I've got 20 million points so far. So possibly, I might maybe get the second milestone, possibly. But that'll probably be about it. Now, if I had the dry docks to do and the guns, yeah, I could potentially do it. But then that's looking at me leveling up each month. So I don't have the materials to do that. Not unless I forgo all the research. I mean, so I got 406 days left on that one. Oh, he's ready to go to 50. Ooh, go on, let's put him in then. Let's get him put in. Let's speed up the facade. This is a fucking pain in the ass as well. Seriously. Great feature, and because I don't have... Let's scroll down to him. Right. Oh, I've got one 5-minute, but because I haven't got any of the other 3, it doesn't think, oh, he's got some platinum. Why don't I use some of that? So then I'm still having to do this myself. It's only a 4-minute difference there. So, right, let's get him in for upgrade. And that should open up the bottom line for all the officers I actually have. So if we jump into here, so I've got 3 officers. I do have a 4th slot available, but I'm working on 7 of 9 at the minute. And I'm going to try working on Lorca as well through the incursion store. So, but if we jump into his skill tree, so it's like getting level 50, I'll be able to open up all these. So what am I going to be getting for this? So increasing officer stats in this particular tree, which was at the leader. So that's going to be officer stats. Then we've got critical chance against hostiles, okay. And the always on increasing energy weapon damage, okay, 50% increase. With it maxing out at 280%, okay. Small change, but in the grand scheme of things, but not too bad. And then cost efficiency for ship components. Okay, so yeah, fair dues. Not too bad. Let's look at the cutises. What have I got to get for this one? So here is increasing the number of shots against players. So, and that's critical damage against players for interceptors. So I'm going to guess this was an interceptor base. What's this one? Kinetic weapons. So definitely that one. And let's have a look. 400% increase as max. Now I do need level 18. At the minute, currently hid behind me, it's telling me 17, so I need to upgrade Locutus before I can actually do these. So I've got some mitigation against solo armadas, that'll come in handy. That's group armadas for mitigation. And critical chance against solo armadas. I do apologise, my nose has gone blocked and it's doing my head in. So the mechanic would be looking at repair efficiency, nice, okay. And hull health, that's going to be a good one. So, and this one tops out at 750%. So that's going to be nice. So, didn't want that one then. Come on, keep up. So, now I'm not going to level him up yet because, yeah, I can actually do it. I want to wait till that Fleet Commander event comes back round again, so then I can level him up. Did I level Kirk up? Yeah, I've got Kirk to 19, so I can max Kirk out now. And then I've got Spock as well. Again, he's 17, so I should be able to eventually max him out as well. But what's he going to give me? So he's going to give me efficiency for station upgrades there. Right, that's the primary one, is all cost efficiency. I mean, 5%, it's not exactly big numbers, but so the other one will be gas. This one is increases titanium cost efficiency for ship upgrades, so that's nice, okay. And then material efficiency on research. Yeah, that could be a little problematic for me, in my opinion, because I usually excuse me, I usually bang loads of research through in one go, and it's through different materials. Given the fact that this has got like a let's change. So if I select that, can I go back to... No, I've got to wait half an hour before I can switch back to that. So realistically, and if we do the mining one, and then yeah, so there's a cooldown time on it. I'm not going to wait half an hour between bloody pieces particular research for materials. I'm not. These cooldown, some of these cooldown times they've put in is ridiculous, but it is what it is. Right, how far off am I? Ooh, 30,000 off. 30,000. Nice. I would say around about 45 days. 45 days, I would say. What of these have I got? Oh, I've got a couple of these I can do. I'll leave them until that event comes around again. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, it's an SLB. Don't want the SLB. Right, so they're the weekly ones, weren't they? SLBs. Just 1 second, guys. Right, so sorry about that. So yeah, here we go. So we've got SMS artifact upgrade, boost your ability to artifact, score by spending tokens and disruptors. Alright, yeah, so actually upgrading them doesn't count towards it in the slightest. So that's a bit of a bummer, really. But hey ho. So moving on to this, then obviously I'm going to be sending ships out to do this shortly. So that's a 20-minute run in here. Not bad payout really, in a sense. So it's like 525 points. That doesn't seem like it's going to be very much for me to hit. 16 points per target. So I'm looking around about 30-40 kills, give or take. Something like that. And then I'm going to end up with enough loot for at least a couple of weeks. I've never actually tested to see if I could actually hit these level 51s. But in all honesty, if I really want to target, it's the 58s I want to hit. But I know for a fact I can't take them on. Not yet, anyway. I mean, let's have a look. Let's get that claim. Send those helps out. Right, so... Uh, 55s I might be able to take on. Suppose we could always go have a look, because I've got the thing. I've got the tokens to get in and out of there, so right, swap. And here we go. And I've got some upgrades I can do on here. It's just a question of whether my materials are going to hold. Come on. Ooh, ooh, oh, oh! I've just got my protector up a tier. Oh. That was a bit of a bad flash there. T7 components and hull armor. Ooh. Okay, so wasn't expecting that. So right. Hang on, there's one officer I want to make sure I've got below deck. Ooh. Go away. Ah! Monkeys. I don't want to sacrifice any of these three. That's the problem. Okay. I want to put date below deck so I could actually have that little bit extra impulse speed. Right, where is he? There he is. I've rearranged all my offices as well. No, I didn't change it. I thought I did. Oops. Alright. Group. Tyler. I heard about this particular PvP loadout, but my problem is my Freeman's not very well maxed. Oh, if I'm right, 4124 5. Okay, 10,000. I might be able to send him up to tier 8 at the end of the month. Possibility. $14,000 entry tokens. Yeah, I think I've got enough to keep going for a while there. To go in multiple times. My son's just shouted through happy birthday to me. I'm guessing he's dreaming something. Because he should be asleep. Now, I'm also going to point out a bone of contention with this. And I'm curious about how many of you also suffer this. When you do this automatic go to the rift and jump thing, how many of you suffering with the problem it turns around and tells you you can't do it? Because is it going to, or is it just sits there? So, yeah. Apparently I'm not within the rift. Why? What's the point of this feature if it's just going to keep doing that to you? Where you've actually got to go through the clicks again to actually get through. Yep, yeah, I thought so. I'm glad I'm not the only one who suffers with this. Right, now I've got to remember where I'm going. No, it's not Breen. Well, I mean, is that the 55? No, it's the 58. Alright, yep, straight up. Now I want to see if I can kill those 55s. I always come into, when I do this particular run, where I'm going hostile hunting, I'll always bring in loot crew so I can get the most out of the loot. Granted, it's the chests you actually want, but having that extra loot from the ship is great help as well. Right, Nausicaa, Suliborn, that's the one. So we'll go there. Oh no, it's actually worked this time. It's actually worked. Right. Here we go. Scored it. 21 points. Not too bad for the hull. And so you're not going to be able to see this right now. Let me try and switch over to... let's move that out of the way a minute. There you go. So you can clearly see behind me 3,200. So let's have a quick look at the loot chest I got off it. So what am I getting out of the loot chest? 3,600. So not much difference really between the two of them. About a 200 difference. So that's quite interesting to say the least. And obviously I'll be looking at five of these to the 100. So 25, 26, 27. Probably 28 kills actually to actually do this. But there's no way my hull's going to hold up against 25 of them. No way my hull's going to hold up. How much XP am I getting? 79,000 XP. Now granted, if I use probably more of a PvP set crew, I'd probably get more kills, but I won't be getting as much loot. Now what I need for my daily refineries out of the loot from these is 8,000 a day. So coming in here, killing 3 of these. Well, it's like even my loot in my cargo hold at current, which is obviously behind me, stands at 2 days worth. So just watching my hull. I think this is going to be the last one I can kill. But I'm at 147 points, that's not too bad. Might be able to get one more in. I know I'm pushing it a little bit, but okay, so definitely no more than that. And so I've got 7 chests up in me up here, so we'll get them claimed. So basically, plus the one from the last set, that's 8 hostiles I've been able to kill. So on average that means probably around about 3 runs to do this. So going back to Suleiman all the time would be advantageous. Whew. So, right, well I'll finish that off later. So this is what I've gained already. 673 common gas. So, yeah. not particularly too bad in numbers, really. Yeah. So, what else have I got? G form, mine. Okay. So, for those of you as well, remember, obviously me and my family are currently looking for a new property. I am pleased to say that we have been offered a house. It's not really what I want in an area that I'd really want to go, but because of our situation, obviously beggars can't be choosers. So we are accepting it. However, there's a lot of work to be done on it, which will get done by the housing company that we're going with. They're going to actually get all the work done to it. Well, what they define as reasonable, and we should be looking at getting the keys most likely end of January, beginning of February, for us to look at a potential move-in of the end of February. So that saga is coming to an end, thank God, because that's not exactly been very helpful. So there will be some time where there'll potentially be no videos and no live streams, but then again, that's not really been much different for the way this year has actually panned out with everything, which again, I am truly sorry the fact it has ended up that way. I've not been overly great with the content that's coming out of the game, going over the officers, which I still need to talk about today. But yeah, I'm also going to look at actually getting an actual PC rather than just using the laptop. As good as the laptop is, it can be a little bit slow, and it can be a bit of a struggle for it to handle the game and doing live streams some days. So really step it up a gear of getting the equipment that I need. But again, it's going to take a little bit of time. So as much as I was looking at a 2025 release in January of redoing the channel, it looks like it's going to be a little bit longer. I am still looking at the contemplation of adding different games, but again, I'm going to need a better system to actually operate it on, where it's not going to risk clogging out every 5 minutes. So, but that's a quick update from my side of things. Some good news finally. So, but right, so officers then. Cheers, Dave. Hi, welcome into the stream, mate. I'm not going to stay on stream much longer because I know Rev Juice is on. Oh, hang on, no. Rev Juice normally does an hour and a half on YouTube, doesn't he? So another 40 minutes and he'll probably be finished. But then again, I've got to get, because obviously I am going to be moving, we're going to keep the kids at the same school that they're at, which means a 40-minute bus ride every single day, which means having to leave the house an hour before my kids leave school just to go catch the bus and get them to school every day. So I've got to get used to getting up earlier. So when I do the streams, it's most likely going to be finishing around about the 11 o'clock mark here in the UK. And given the fact that I am pretty tired today, despite the fact it is my birthday, despite the fact I've not really done an awful lot all day, probably because I've been sat down most of the day instead of actually up and about and doing stuff. Yeah, I am actually quite tired. This morning I got up and I was just yawning at anything. So, but anyway, right. So talking about the new offices that we've been getting lately, is mostly aimed at PvP. Obviously, with the exception of the Galaxy Quest crew, and to be honest, what crew set are these? Oh, the Symbiosis crew. We've been getting the PvPs in the form of the Mirror Universe, the new Q set, but it was something. Oh, thanks very much, Dave. Something that was mentioned in my Discord a couple of days ago, a day or two ago, about how the officers seem to be a little bit niche. Now, Chocolate, if you're still there, obviously, you'll remember this conversation that I was having with Hugo. How niche these officers are. I mean, as we've already brought up Starfleet Q, his obviously officer's ability is about hitting interceptors. But then if we look at his counterpart, Soren, he's aimed at commanding an explorer. Right, so he's commanding an explorer afflicted by burning, which is usually what you get off a battleship usually. So it's like maybe I've hit something wrong here. Against players commanding an interceptor. Right, hang on. So now I just found. Now that's actually making me. Yeah, against players commanding an explorer. So these are pretty niche officers because you can only go against specific class of ships. So it's like when you do it, I would say like when you're doing territory takeover. Yes, if you have all three sets, when the third set's possibly going to come out in January, and that'll be the Battleship Retaliation Squad. So you can have them on any ship, but then they've got to target specific. So it's like the Q set, they can only go after interceptors. Soren and his little band of merry women, sorry, they can only go after explorers. But yet, what happens if it's not an explorer coming after Soren and his crew? What happens if it's a battleship? What if it's an interceptor? Well, then it's going to be no good, is it? If they're coming after you. Whereas you've got the likes of Mirror Picard. Now this one I think is more valuable because this is just literally against players. Yes, they need the assimilate state, so you make sure that you've got an assimilate officer on hand for it. Esri, increasing kinetic weapon, your kinetic weapon damage. So again, that's against players. So they're more generic officers, which I think personally, when it comes to PvP, that's what you need. That is what you need. You need more generic officers. I mean, even Mirakira here, she's just against players. That's it. Also increasing Apex barrier. I've never actually looked at this one. She's a below deck. Um, increasing apex barrier after receiving whole health damage against a simulated player once per weapon. And then silent partner, increasing your apex barrier against ordinary hostiles. So again, it's just generic. Hang on, did I say hostiles? Okay, so she's... Ah, right. So basically, that to me, she's like Kira from the DS9 crew. If we go up, Kira here, where she's below deck, she's a PvP officer, but as an officer, she's against assaults. Not that many players probably do assaults nowadays. So to me, the generic PvP officers have a better functionality. Like, even these were niche interceptor strike teams, so you put these on the interceptors. But this is obviously applying hull breach, but while he's on an interceptor, so while he's niche to you, he has to go on a specific class of ship for you. He can still go after battleships, which is what interceptors are stronger against. He can still go after explorers if he really wanted to. So again, to me, this still makes it, even though it's niche per se, it's still more of a generic PvP officer, because he can go after different classes of ships. You've got... Where is she? I can't find her now. Other niche officers. It's these ones. Because obviously that's against player ships. But this is against a player interceptor. So again, going after a specific class of ship. Yeah, Matt, exactly. I've noticed that there is a delay between what I'm showing you and where I'm talking. I've noticed that because obviously there's been a bit of a buffer in the stream tonight. So it makes me wonder how well used are these new officers going to be in the future? How good are they going to be? Because yes, players have their preferred PvP setup. I mean, it's like, for me, the PvP setup I'm running is this one. I mean, Hugo said that this was a pretty good PvP crew, which he saw a lot of players running. So it's like, I've got Freeman, which is going to give me, against players, increasing the number of shots that I'm firing. Coupled that with the Tribune's own ability, that when it's got burning, provided by Giorgio, increasing the number of shots of each weapon by 3. So if that's increasing by 3 plus Giorgio shooting, that's going to be a fair number of shots I'm going to be firing. And bearing in mind that this thing has a 10 shot round 2 in its firing pattern. It's got 10 shots. So that's like 20 shots, 23, potentially 23 shots. Hang on, no, it'll be a lot more than that, sorry. It could be a hell of a lot of shooting in that one round. But like I say, Giorgio's provided my burning. It's only a 75% chance of actually doing it. But if I get that on... round 1 or the start of round 2, that's those 10 shots in round 2 easily being done. The ship's ability and Carl Freeman all kicking in together. And then obviously you've got Tyler, who's got increasing the amount of damage I do by 100% of the attack of my officers. Now, granted, my officers at the minute are a little bit plaque because I've just put PvP officers, so my attack's not particularly that good. But yeah, if I got rid of, say, them two, and went into attack, so put... So, literally, that's what I'd be throwing that out a lot better. Then I've got the extra isolytic damage provided by 7 of 9. Obviously I've got isolytic defenses boost as well for when I'm burning. And Carl Freeman's isolytic cascade as well. So that's a generic crew. I can go up against any player I want, no matter what class of ship that they're running, and I can fight them. Yeah, fine, against players who are very PvP focused or have got a far better understanding of the mechanics around PvP officers, they're probably going to beat me. And if they went up, if I did put this up against, say, for instance, the Battleship Retaliation Squad, and again, if we just call up the officers, scrolling right down, and then so like here against players commanding an explorer. So if we just for argument's sake, for the Battleship Retaliation Squad, so for players that commanding a battleship, which would be me, he's going up against, this thing's still going to increase its apex barrier, and then obviously synergize whatever that synergy comes out at, and then obviously like you got Toothless Predator. Oh yeah, so that is the Toothless Predator. So, and then obviously his captain's ability, he's got a chance to apply burning to my ship. Well, that's not going to exactly help if it goes off in round 2. But again, I'm guessing with synergy, that's going to max out 100%. I know I just said synergy for this one. Synergy don't count for this one. But yeah, and then obviously if we look at the other two officers, so you got Miss Q sticking her below deck against players. Placed on ship with morale, obviously increasing apex barrier. And then this one, so if I'm afflicted by burning, she's going to increase isolytic cascade by up to 120% against me. So she's got some use in her. And then Romy, increasing isolytic defense by up to 200% as an officer, and increasing apex barrier when afflicted by hull breach. So effectively that gives you all, those give you all 3 states that you can go up against. But it's a shame that the epic, which is what they would see as your captain of your ship, his officer's ability is class specific. But yet, it don't make sense to me. It looks to me as if they tried to redo the strike teams. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. They tried to redo the strike teams so they would have this 100% chance with full synergy to do a particular state So the other abilities actually work. So you've got Burning with Soren. Odd Flare, yeah, so increasing Isolated Cascade with Burning for Miss Q, and then obviously this one's here's the morale side of things. And then Burning increases Isolated Defense, and then obviously gives you the whole breach there. So it looks like to me they tried to redo the strike teams, but they've made them too niche now. Whereas the previous strike teams are not niche anymore. They used to be to begin with, but not anymore. Because like when fighting players, he's got to be on an explorer with morale, but obviously he's going to get morale 100% with full synergy. So obviously morale's not exactly the best one. The best one is obviously still, I believe, is the battleship strike team. So it's like putting Burning on. When on a battleship, it increases the number of shots per weapon by 10%. Okay. Okay, right, so... Alright then, fair dues. That's probably why it don't work as well for me. That needs to be higher. No, not Ortegas, is it? But I think it was this one. Crushing their hopes. Yeah, on our battleship. Yeah. So, for me, I think that the new officers that they've brought in are trying to redo the strike teams to include Isolated Cascade and Isolated Defense and Apex Barrier. They're trying to include the new features as a new form of strike team. Now, will these new strike teams be any better than the old strike teams? I don't think there will be as much, actually, to be honest. I think if you've got a decent level battleship strike team and you go up against a battleship retaliation squad, I think the battleship strike team would I'm going to go maxi on both sets of crews. I think that the battleship strike team, a maxed out, let me get my words right, a maxed out battleship strike team would be better than a maxed out battleship retaliation squad. For all the purposes of Apex Barrier, brilliant and everything, for all the Isolated Cascade, I just think that the older set would be better. I could be wrong. But I don't know the math in my own head. I don't know the math. So, I don't know what you guys think. I mean, am I wrong? Am I wrong to think that the old strike teams will be better than the new retaliation squads? That's what I'm curious to know. But I do think that the new PvP officers are too niche. But then again, it's when you look at it, things like when you come to the PvE side of things, if we go back to where are they? Here we go, Strange New Worlds. So you've got Ortega's, Spock, and Uhura, all class specific. Uhura against battleships, Spock against explorers. Sorry, Uhura against. Which one is she? Come on. Yeah, attacking battleships from an interceptor, and then also you got Spock, who attacks interceptors from an explorer. Attacks explorers from a battleship with Ortegas. But this was the only set that appeared to be in PvE pretty niche. Just these 3 rares. Even the epic wasn't that niche, because defeating any hostile, increasing mitigation when fighting hostiles, so he was pretty good all-rounder there. Hemner, obviously, again, pretty niche against surveys, but you could plonk him on any ship that you wanted. So, to me, there's only been one relatively niche set of officers for PvE. But then the rest of you are pretty generic about what you can put them on, what you can fight against, like Alonzo Freeman here. He's just basically increasing your reputation, but it's against any hostile on any ship. So, again, generic PvE. But I don't know, Scope. I'm not against Scopely trying something new. But at the minute, it seems like they're just literally trying to rehash the old sets into something new with the new stuff that they've actually dropped into the game. Yeah, and I agree, Strange New Worlds crew is a beautiful crew. I don't use them. I prefer using Janeway and Enterprise E data, mixing them up a little bit. But that won't stop me from going back to these. So, like, using Strange New Worlds Pike, Strange New Worlds Una, and Strange New Worlds Uhura against my Borg, against the Borg probes. I've got no problem putting them on there, and then loading out the below deck with Hugh, Nurse Chapel, and Hemner, just to go for it. I don't need to put Hemner because he's a build-up health officer, but I might just chuck him in for the sheer hell of it. I like Pick Worf. I use Pick Worf. He's hella nice, easy kills. My rivals, they use interceptors. Well, yeah, if they're using interceptors again, that's where it's coming down to the niche. You're going after, where is it? There he is. Specific type of ships. So increasing your weapons damage in combat against player interceptors. And I do believe he needs to be. Oh no, right, so you can put him on any ship, but again, he's going up against a specific set of targets. But to me, when it comes to PvP, you don't want officers aimed at specific class of ships. So in this case, going against interceptors. Now, if you're looking at the PvE side of things, yeah, that's fine. You can aim for specific ones like this, bit more niche, because you're potentially going to have to save for those interceptors for their parts in G5 and G6 and G4. What do you mean, what am I doing? There is a bit of a lag in... They all use interceptors. Yeah, if they all use interceptors, then fine. That's not a problem. This will work using Pick Wharf. But I don't use interceptors in PvP. I'll use a battleship. So say I'm coming after you, Nuts. You're running this crew on on one of your ships. No, I don't really do a lot of PvP. But I don't use interceptors. Now, when I get to Ops 56 and I get, Shipyard 56, and I get a Sanctus, then yeah, I might be using an interceptor, because that's going to be the next ship I'm going after. But what I'm saying is, when you're in a big combat situation like territory takeover, you're not primarily being targeted by interceptors. I mean, if everyone on your server is using interceptors, then yeah, not a problem. But I can't say that I've seen everybody using interceptors. When it comes to things like OPC hunting, yes, they would. They'd use the Talios. Hey Diamond, I PvP once in a while. Peace broke out on my server for a couple of years and no one wants to fight anyone. Yeah. I mean, I've got no problem with doing PvP if I have to. But I haven't got the time to sit down and think, right, well, which one's going to be good? What about this or no that? I just look at the crews and say, yeah, just throw that on. But then I see people throwing out officer ideas. Yeah, exactly. You just said what I've said there. If you're OPC hunting, the Talios, Aussie Pilot, yeah, okay. Yeah, if you're a minor police or police, so they are using interceptors. But if I'm going to go target a player, I'm not initially going to go after them with an interceptor. Yeah. Oh, I don't. I was planning on using my Newton to keep going. You've been at war for the last 4 years, so you PvP every day. Yeah, if you PvP every day, then you are going to find a crew that's going to fit you eventually. But what I'm saying is, if you... It might not be like just your specific server notes, but other servers using class-specific officers to aim at specific types of ships means you are restricting on how much PvP you can do. It's like Hugo said on the Discord, I'd have to come back, he has to go back to base, completely change his crew over to go after somebody else with a different class of ship. But then he's expecting him to sit there and wait for him to come and pick him off, which they ain't gonna do. You've had 2 years of war plus another year of row benders. Yeah, we had a row benders on 134. We've got 1 or 2 still who will they will bend row as far as they can possibly do it, but they are still within row. Yeah, if I came up against you, Nuts, with my battleship, yeah, you would have the advantage of an interceptor against a battleship. Yeah, exactly, Diamond, and there is that as well with PvP. Nobody wins, right? And this is my problem with wars in this game. There is no end game. You just fight, fight, fight. Let's take server 20 for a prime example of a server at war. The top 5 alliances all at war. Just to give them something to do. But Scopely profit from it because most of those players will actually spend money to get bigger and better ships, upgrade their ships faster, level up faster. But there's no end game in a war in this game. Well, you can have an end game, but the only thing that happens with that kind of end game is players refuse to play the game because they just can't do anything because they feel like they can't do anything in game. I haven't tried it, have I? What? I haven't tried what? Nuts. I'm not quite sure what the delay is on the screen right now. What allows you the freedom to hunt OPC and use red tags like crash test dummies? Yeah. Well, in a sense, I beg to differ with about hunting OPC. Because when you're at war with someone, you're going to pop their miners whether they're OPC or not. You're going to destroy them. No, wars don't stop you from doing anything in the game. Because I've always been able to do stuff in game. The only thing I can't do is do live streams when we're at war. Because usually our opponent, our enemy is watching me so they know where I'm going. So they always pop me off, which means I can't actually do much. But when obviously they don't know where I am, yeah, I can still get loads done. I did join the last war we had at the beginning of 2024. Not a problem. I still do all my PvE. I did my mining. Wasn't a problem. If I lost my miners, I lost my miners. But yeah, but circling back to what I was saying, Yeah, fine. Pick Wharf is brilliant when if all your opponents are just using the same class of ships. But if they start using different kinds of ships, then you've got to change your strategy and use different officers. Whereas using generic officers like the original strike teams, like Carol Freeman, Honor Guard Wharf, you'll find you can take on multiple different ships of different classes, one after the other, if you've actually got decent level officers. And this is why I think adding the niche idea with this specific retaliation squad. Yeah, okay, I will concede some servers will use them to great effect, and I'm sure Nuts, you will find something like the Interceptor Retaliation Squad very effective if you got them unlocked and leveled up. I'm sure you'd find them extremely useful. Probably a lot better than the Pick Wharf. But again, you're only going after interceptors. So, but they'll be no good against battleships or explorers. Yeah, fine, you've got the triangle in your favour for battleships when you're on an interceptor. But I don't know. I just think they're too generic. Too niche. If they get used a lot, then I'm wrong. I've got no problems with saying I'm wrong. But I just don't think they're going to get used as very often. Now, if anything, I do visit my Discord, yes. I don't have time to sit and read through every single chat though. In everyone else's Discords. I don't have time to sit through it all. If I did, I'd be sat there most of the day and I would get no housework done, my kids wouldn't get fed. So, well, they would get fed, but I won't be much of a parent if I sat on my phone looking through Discord all the time. So, I don't sit there read through everything. Now, obviously, to bring a flip on what I was just saying about niche officers, these can actually be a little bit more effective on the below deck when they've got this extra bit where they're going against, where they're just doing states. So, if I placed Miss Q on on an Enterprise A, for example, using morale. Granted, I'm going to get the apex barrier, which means I'm going to survive a little bit longer. So you can sort of bring these out of niche a little bit, but if you wanted to use them as a set, no. If you use them as a full proper synergy set, no, they're a bit too niche. So, but right, so let me just think. I know there was a few things I was going to cover tonight. Officers, events. Well, you see, now there's the other problem though, Nuts, right? How can I try it when I can't even source the officers? I can't even source the rares. At most, I can go get this one out the event store. That's not a PvP. just my opinion, all those niche officers will eventually have a purpose in the game. Yeah, I'm sure they'll end up with some sort of purpose in the game eventually. But to me, I just don't like the idea of saying, right, I'm going to load up my crew with, and if I take it back, say like the strike team, I'm going to load my ship up with the interceptor strike team. Oh, they've got a battleship. I've got to go back to dock now and put the battleship strike team on. That's me fuck-assing about. Just to go and kill somebody. I don't want to be fuck-assing about. If I'm going to go kill somebody, I'd rather have a crew on there that I know will go out and do the job. Just like I do for PvE. I put a crew on there that I know is going to go out there and do the job. It's like at the minute, on A, I've got loot crew. I know for a fact that they'll do the job pretty well. Try what the battle triangle. I'm a G5 player, 1.6 trillion power destroyed, I think. Yeah. Hey G, thanks very much, mate. Yeah, I mean, if you've got 1.6 trillion power destroyed, you're definitely going to know about the battle triangle. Yeah, I know I can upgrade 7 of 9 and I just don't have the command badges to do it. At the minute. I've got stuff to go get it, but I'm not rushing it. But then again, she's a PvP officer. But this is generic, it's not aimed at a specific class of ship. So oh, actually she don't need a badge. Okay, yeah, let's get, I thought she needed a badge. So let's get that one done quick now. So that gives me 18%. Cheers, Diamond. But yeah, so I mean, because I don't know much about PvP, I could most likely be wrong, and I've got no problem with saying that I probably am wrong. But I mean, players might be able to find a use for them somewhere in a specific set. Like I say, was it Miss Q for below deck? Nope, it wasn't Miss Q. Nope. So, right, hang on. Let me have a look. Let me have a think. Field Marshal. Oh, he's at Eddie State, so that's completely different. So, and he's going to repair your hull. Okay, so yeah, so he would definitely work as a below deck officer in PvP. A generic. So he's got a generic sense around him. Immortal again. Yeah. Not 100% sure about him. Because I think he's going to be brilliant. You're 3.4 trillion. Ops 49 is fighting. Well, congratulations on Ops 49, nuts. So, power destroyed for me. Yeah. There's my stats, guys. Right, I'm not exactly much of a PvP. My ratio is 1.34, 15,983 ships destroyed. And I can tell you now, most of that's miners. I would probably say 15,500 is miners. And that's in 6 years. So, damage I've done to players is 23.3 trillion, but now that's actually quite interesting, that there, Mark. Let's have a look at what my server's doing for the SLB. So I'm okay. It can't be that good if I'm actually ranked 28th. So the top player on mine is at 78 million, but I'm ranked 28th. So how many shards do you get on this SMS? 3, 11, 25. So you get 50 shards here. Yeah. But given the fact that yours is only at 53 million, means, yeah, I don't think many players are going harder. But I remember someone saying that Starfleet Q last month, it wasn't as very good. 41,000 player ships destroyed. Oh yeah, you always give me a hard time. I've got no problem with that. Because like I say, if I'm wrong, hands up, I'm wrong. I've got no problem with admitting that I'm wrong. And I don't know much about PvP. But if they made the PvP officers a lot easier to get from day one, it'd be better. But they've not made even a single rare officer available to get outright without having to buy either the Elite Battle Pass or some form of spending. I might be to correct myself and say I think there might have been 2 rares I've been able to acquire this year. You haven't started the SLB yet. Well, it's the same as usual, spending materials and doing solo, doing rare and epic armadas. So you have to see how much it's going to cost you. My hand is really hurting lately. Can't help but think I've done more damage to it than the bloody X-rays showed. But I've had a CT on it as well. So might need an MRI, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe in a few years. I just watched Tiberius and Rez videos on the SLB, and neither one is crazy about Soaring this month, but they do like the way the SLB is going to run. Yeah, I've heard that there's going to be some difference about this SLB this year, this month. So, but it's only 13 million. Yeah, I mean that's actually saying a lot, considering right now 17 hours left. I finished the first one. I'm sitting third on SLB. Yeah, so the fact that you guys are saying that the amount of points scored on those SLBs are lower than usual, it's kind of speaking to itself about how players are feeling about this. I mean, yeah, I'm in the bracket where I'm up against players going up to 60. I mean, it's like Marlon here. He's a level 59 player, so he's higher than me. Capote Prime, what level is he? He's a 56. So do we have any G6 players in here? I know he's a G5. He's a G5. They're G5. What's Pack? He's a level 60 player. What level is he? 56. I'm just trying to think. Red leader. I think he's still G5, isn't he? Yeah, he's still G5. So yeah, I think the highest level that I've got to contend with is level 60. So which basically means it's literally all G5 players in this. Sword 9. What ops level are you, mate? Yeah, you're 59. So I'm running against G5 players, and if we're running at 78 million, the second one is 59 million TP finish. Right, well, increase the SMS again. Yeah, but the one thing is look about the time on it as well. That's how long. 13 days, I think. Let me just think. Let's go back out here. Yeah, so 13 days, 17 hours. 14 days, 17 hours. So it's just a day less than what's the actual arc still got left to run for. There are a lot of different places to spend your materials right now with the different events, plus usually use all the resources on one officer. This is the second officer being offered. Yeah, it is. But as well, there's something about scoring in this event by finish tier 1 of this event to unlock tier 2, which has more soul shards and a 5% decrease in the milestones per officer shard reward. I'm not quite sure what exactly that's supposed to mean. Yeah. Yeah, see, and that I think that's another thing as well. That's part of the problem. Is to actually do these, they only give you one scoring metric to do it. I mean, I suppose if they wanted to do something like this, the high scoring, they could have actually put the resources in to say, well, a point per resource to actually do these events. But it's like, even I don't want to level up at the minute. While I've got Ops 54 cooking, I know for a fact that I could potentially do a couple of other buildings once I went 54. Just to spend materials. But I'm working on my research right now, so that's all I'm focused on. But anyway, oh, they're ready, so I'll bring them home. Now there was one other thing. I've got it in my head. I've got another thing I was going to discuss tonight. So oh yeah. Is this month looking like a grind heavy month? Ooh. Don't know what you guys think about that one. A grind heavy month. When you've got like this event. Um, let's have a look. There's got to have been a reason I put that in. Okay, actually I'm probably say no to that one. I don't think it actually is. Why I put that in, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, exactly. I do agree with that one, Nuts. We should be able to. And we've got the perfect feature in game if Scopely actually figure out how to do it. And that's called the Starbase. Believe it or not, we've got that. They could use that feature to help players trade with one another. Yeah. So, but anyway, I think we'll leave it there for tonight. So, thank you everyone for coming on today. Joining the stream, it is much appreciated. I know there wasn't much of an announcement. I will be definitely looking at trying to get the live streams back up and running in 2025. And there'll be a little bit more of a frequency of when those streams will be up, and even join the movie if need be. If I've got to go back to just using my phone, then so be it. I'd have to go back and use my phone. So, but yeah. So thank you for everyone for coming along and joining in the chat. It's nice to see you all. So I'm going to go figure out what video that I need to record next. I think I might do one on the Reverend, but I'm going to need to copy off a lot of charts and everything, because obviously I don't have access to the ship. So it'll be nice to have all the charts that I can actually put up on the screen for everyone to actually view as well. So until next time, I'm Admiral Pegasus. Stay safe, live long and prosper, and I shall catch you on the next video. Goodbye.